Welcome back, puppies, to Barking Dogs Miniature Painting Video. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook, and you can support us on Patreon. Okay, so I'm going to be painting their coats now. I'm going to be using hot orange in the shaded areas and orange fire in the lighter areas. The color they are now is predominantly the Steinolrez color. What I had done was I had mixed this with a little bit of black, which makes it a dark red, almost brown actually, and sprayed them before they were glued onto their bases from their feet towards their head. Then I cleaned up the feet, glued them to their bases, and I sprayed the rest of them in just straight Steinolrez. And I believe this is supposed to be red-brown primer, but to me that's very orange. And one of the reasons why I chose these game colored paints, or game air paints, is because they're very thin. They're just a little bit thicker than you would probably want to glaze. So they're very transparent. These two colors will actually blend well with each other. In order to hit some of these areas where light would be catching more, like here on the coat where it fans out and on the top of the hood, what I do is I actually kind of layer up to it, and I'll be layering up with the orange fire. As the orange fire builds on itself, it actually does become lighter and lighter than some of the other areas around it. And that is how I will be bringing it up. And again, because of the transparent coating, because of the colors that I've worked with and chosen, or the paints that I've chosen, everything will blend really well. And I'm going to show you these other models here, because they've got a couple of really good surface areas where you can tell there would definitely be a contrast in the way the light was hitting it. So like here, there's these folds. You can just, I don't even really know how well that's picking them up. There's some folds right here in the jacket, and so whereas I hit this with the hot orange, I'm only going to hit from here and here, these areas, with the orange fire. And then I'll probably come back and I'll try to avoid kind of getting in those creases for a second layer here. And I'll probably do both a second and a third layer here, again kind of avoiding that crease, so it still kind of shows and sticks out a little bit. Alright, I'm going to add one additional highlight, and it's a glaze that I created for this final highlight. It's a couple of drops of airbrush flow improver added to 3 parts golden yellow from the Game Air line to 1 part of our orange fire. Load up the brush, dab the excess off. Just come in here and work this in the areas that would actually get the most light. And this will be our final highlight for their coats. And again, because of the transparent nature, and because I'm just really layering an orange on top of an orange, I don't really need to do a whole lot of wet blending. Kind of blends itself. And if you've been following along in the series, you know that shouting is a kid shouting at the Xbox. I don't really play a lot, but when I do, I'm not really much better, so kind of hard to harp on the kid. Take some of that off there. Get his sleeves, and we're almost done. Here. There's our cyborg ranger. Skitarii. So we're back for the final wash. And it's Nuln Oil, of course. I'm going to be hitting the whole backpack, even those leather bits. So it ends up looking a little grimy and dingy. That's fine. I think that's the look we're going for. These guys are waging war. They're not out trying to win the best or sharpest dressed cyborg competition here. I think they're trying to whoop some gene stealer ass, probably. Alright, now I accidentally got some wash in on this little gauge here. There we go. Again, to do a touch up like that, just rinse off the brush, damp it on a paper towel, and then stick the brush in there and let it soak up the excess paint, or in this case wash. And you're good to go. Alright. Next video we'll be working on their bases. Want a close-up of him here? See where we're at. Pew pew! Pew pew! I'm coming to get your gene stealer ass.
If you like the work you saw in this video and some of the images you're seeing now, I'm available for commissions. You can reach me through messaging me at Facebook, www.facebook.com/BarkingDogStudio. Patreon supporters get discounts on commissions as well as credit at the end of the video. Special thanks to the Clarks for their continued support. Bark on, puppies.